world stopped. But it was 2 years ago today. We'll get into more details of that a little bit later, but we want to bring in our next guest, Aaron Wilson, Pro Football Network, joining us. Aaron, how are you?
Great. How are you doing?
I'm doing great as well. Thank you so much for joining us. Want to start with a story I know you talked a lot about at the beginning. Now it's getting more and more, not finality, but we got more information today about Deshaun Watson and basically word that he will not face criminal charges. That's an avenue I think you thought where this story was going, and not a lot of people did. What do you think about the news of today?
Right. Yeah, this is very consistent with what I was reporting a year ago and what I said, which was that there wasn't evidence. And in our criminal justice system, right, you want there to be evidence, not just, a difference of opinion, he said, she said type of deal. So, yeah, it's a very serious thing. I said that at the time. There are very serious accusations. I also said that, he's innocent until proven guilty. And today, the grand jury, they made that decision that there wasn't enough credible evidence for them to go forward, and they didn't recommend any charges at all. So, as Deshaun Watson said earlier in the courthouse, it's an emotional moment for him, and he looks forward to resuming his football career. Civil litigation is not going to generally get you in trouble as far as a suspension, and it does not make you ineligible to play. So he could have played last year. He wasn't facing a charge. Yeah, he was completely eligible to play. The NFL, I thought, did the best they could to point that out. He just had to disconnect. He didn't want to play for the Texans.
Right.
The Texans weren't going to force him to play.
Yeah, so
that's where it stands. But yeah, he did. It's different from being found innocent. They declined to pursue charges.
Yeah, and those 22 suits, as you said, the civil litigation won't keep him from playing. So that goes to the next part. There's public opinion too, and PR and all that. I'm sure based on his talent, teams will be willing to go after him. How aggressive do you think teams in need of a quarterback will go after him?
I think it's going to be very aggressive, especially the Panthers and the Seahawks. I think the Cleveland Browns to a lesser extent. Ultimately, I think it'll come down to a team. It has to be one that he waives his no trade clause for. That's a big thing in this. So Seattle, Carolina, I think they'll be the biggest suitors. Some of the ones that have been mentioned with him, I don't know what states have called, but some others like Pittsburgh Steelers, not hearing that at all. It has anything to it. Tampa Bay Buccaneers don't have the cap space. Don't expect that one. I would think Cleveland. Yeah, Cleveland is interested, but I think it's going to be a situation of Seattle or Carolina.
What kind of haul do you think the Texans would get in return? Are they selling low? I mean, it's still talent, but what kind of market do they get in return for him?
I think it'll be heavy. It'll be players and draft picks.
Mm-hmm.
I think it could be some of the players. You look at the Panthers roster. There's some good players. Christian McCaffrey. There's DJ Moore. There's Brian Burns. There's Jeremy Chin. There are a lot of good football players. You look at the Seahawks. They just got Noah Fant. They got some good wide receivers. You got DK Metcalf. They got Lockett. And, the Texans could use some help. Could really use a running back. But, I think it's going to be very interesting to see how this goes and, what happens. And I'm sure there'll be discussions over the weekend. Until he waives his no trade clause, though, all bets are off. They have to get him to sign off on any prospective trade.
I know it sounds crazy, but any chance he stays with Houston?
Is there a negative number I can use?
So it's a no.
Yeah, it's a big no.
All right, as we're talking with Aaron Wilson, Pro Football Network here, that puts another quarterback out there. Some are still waiting to see how the quarterback dominoes fall. Where do you think this puts a guy like out here, Jimmy Garoppolo? Where's his market?
Jimmy G, he's, his knee and his shoulder, those are a few factors. When you think about the Colts, would they want to get involved? I think it's going to be a little while before his market really crystallizes. And I haven't heard of anyone really jumping out there yet for Jimmy G.
How about next week? Obviously, there's been a lot of movement already, but the free agency frenzy hasn't quite started. Who are the key free agents that you think sometimes it's the quarterback get all the sizzle, but people can make some subtle moves and other moves that really make a big impact.
Is probably one of the best free agents, the cornerback from the New England Patriots. I really think that he's going to do very well. I think Chandler Jones, Von Miller get big money. Marcus Williams from the Saints, the safety. Teron Armstead from the Saints. I think Carlton Davis, Tampa Bay Buccaneers corner, flies under the radar. He'll do well. Randy Gregory, edge rusher from the Cowboys. Ryan Jensen, the center from the Tampa Bay Bucks. I think, there'll be some pretty good money for those guys. I think Darius Williams from the Rams, he's kind of under the radar. He'll do well. I think he'll get good money. And there's some other guys like Quandre Diggs, like in Tomlinson, Hassan Reddick.
Yeah.
Hassan Reddick's pretty good. There's a pretty good group of free agents, still even after the franchise tags and some of the re-signings. Brandon Scherf will do real well. I think he's going to get good money. Devondre Campbell from Green Bay.
Yeah, it's a good list.
I think, solid list of guys. Some of these deals are going to get done, though. Like, I think Michael Gallup will re-sign with the Cowboys. I don't think he'll hit the market. I've heard some trade rumors. Amari Cooper, maybe the Chiefs and the Cowboys do some business. I've heard of the Raiders and Amari Cooper. I've heard them linked together. So, yeah, keep an eye on Amari Cooper, and maybe if he gets traded instead of released.
All right, how about the Raiders today? They did keep one of their own, Pro Bowler Maxx Crosby, 4 years, 95, 53 of that is guaranteed. You like that deal for the Silver and Black?
I really like it. I think Max is really commendable and deserves the deal. He's someone that he's relentless, all-out effort. If you love football, how could you not be someone that really has a lot of respect for Maxx Crosby and the way he plays the game? He's really plays it the right way. He's always chasing and sacrificing his body. And, he's not the biggest, strongest guy in the world, but he gives everything he possibly has, and he's got a good repertoire of moves. One of my friends, Brandon Jordan, has actually worked with Max extensively as his private pass rushing coach, and he's now at Michigan State as their defensive ends and pass rushing coach. And we're always talking about Max and moves that he does. He said, yeah, we did all that. He calls it in the lab, crafting these moves on the field. And then he'll show like a video clip of Max, something he does on, in a game, a sack, and he'll show the video of the drill. And so all these drills and stuff, they all translate. But, yeah, Max worked incredibly hard. Max is kind of a self-made player. It's not like it's all natural talent. It's effort, hustle. I mean, every intangible, Max has it.
Yeah, it's good to see him get rewarded like that. Aaron, we do appreciate your time. Aaron Wilson from the Pro Football Network joining us. Thank you, giving us that insight. And really, Deshaun Watson, he's been the one. We had him on over a year ago, and he thought it would go down this way. This is how it did play out. Look for the civil litigation on the 22 suits, but that should get him to be able to play. So we will see where that goes.